Check, check, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Why did I do that?
I have no idea why you did that.
Alright, so today's conversation, or today's episode, Kevin Kess, Dr. Love.
Not cruising.
This is just not so cruising. Episode whatever. Alright? Today's topic is based on logic and emotion. But before we start that, we're in a situation of where when life gives you lemons, you take the lemon seeds, you plant them, you grow lemon trees, you sell lemons, you copyright and you modify the lemon seeds themselves
So that
no one else can do that. So anyone else that tries to sell lemons or make lemon trees, they have to pay you an annual fee, and you're the only one that can actually create the lemon seeds. So they have to come to you, and then you now basically use the lemon seeds and you modify the seeds and you make sure that their land can only grow lemons for one season per year. So every year they have to come to you to buy lemons. Yeah? And then you put that in your name, you trademark, you copyright it, and that's how you do it. Yes.
Your commitment to the lemon thing is admirable.
That's business.
Followed it all
It's
the way
like, nah,
through.
see, you want lemons? Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
Make lemonade. Nah, fam, you got to think big. Come out with this lemonade. No. Don't do that. We're beyond that now. Anyway, so today is logic versus emotion. Now, this was not my decision. So, as it was not my decision,
I knew this was coming.
that's fine. I'm here for any questions. If you have any questions, please ask me. So, why, what?
Well, the reason I suggested the subject is something I've been thinking about a lot more. Something I've thought about on and off for a long time, but recently in particular, I find my mind is moving more towards the logical. And I think that's partly because I'm practicing semen retention, and one of the effects of it I find is I'm much more grounded and calm, and I think as that masculine energy is building, it's not that I don't have emotions, but I find I'm much more rational, much more logical. And so I guess I was curious to know your perspective on it, like in the sense of what role would you say emotion plays in your thinking? Because I know you're a very logical person.
First off, the question I'm going to ask you is, when you are practicing semen retention, is it due to public demand or is it a personal situation? I say that because as we are in the month of November, there's a not November
Yes, there is.
situation, whereas a lot of people just do that because it's the in thing now.
Yeah.
You understand? But then some men like to do it because it's what they want to do.
I think it's a valid question. I feel like you know the answer to that already, but no, it's nothing to do with that. I've never done it in line with November. I actually started in September. And to me, it's more of a lifestyle thing now. At the time, this is maybe third or fourth time I've tried it, but this time around, I'm like, okay, this is really transformative.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a sweat jar.
I actually said I feel like during that, and I clocked that.
You know,
Yeah, I suggested this. There should be a jar.
I want to be a
feel
sweat
like
jar.
jar.
And if anyone in my gym says I feel like, they're gonna put £1 in there. As simple as that.
I owe you a pound for
So,
that.
I feel like, bro. I feel like, I ain't got change. Pow! I haven't got cash. Card. Let's do this. Simple.
Yeah, feel like jar.
Feel like jar.
Because fuck your feelings in bracket.
There you go.
Look at it.
As simple as that. So, in your retention, what have you learned about the public, not just yourself? Because in your retention, you learn more about yourself, about your I won't say abstinence, your discipline, right? It's a discipline thing. Some people don't, if they retain it, it's because they have other things of worry to contend with. But some people, they go, okay, no, I'm trying to control myself and see my levels of discipline with things. So some of us will be like, no sex. Some of us will be like, no cigarettes. Some will be like, no alcohol. Some will be like, no junk food. It's basically that which has control over me. I want to see how strong my control is. And I say this for everybody as well, which is you want to abstain regularly from that which you feel like has control over you. Because let's face it, it's power dynamics. It's power. So if I cannot stop myself from vaping, what I'm saying is the vape has more power than I do. So I'm saying, if I cannot control myself from drinking, what I'm saying is alcohol is more powerful than me.
That's such a great frame.
You see my point? That's the mindset. Where's your head at? It's crazy, right?
I do want to ask you a question. That's a great frame. I have to come back to that. You're asking, what is it talking about the public?
Yes.
A few things. One is how uncomfortable most people are in their own skin. There are very, very, very few people I meet who just look just genuinely comfortable, grounded, happy, at ease in their own skin. Most people look, they can't make eye contact, they don't look sure of themselves, they don't look confident, they don't look calm, they don't look centered. They're sort of just all over, their energy is very shaky. Most men and women. Second thing it's taught me is how, I mean, I've seen this before, but now it's like really under magnifying glass, how reactive people are, like how emotionally reactive people are when something, depending on what happens around them, right? Like how much the external environment controls how people behave. Like someone says something doesn't go their way, or something unexpected happens. Like you just see people just like constantly getting triggered.
Do you recall? I laugh because do you recall a week ago I was having this convo with someone. We're having a conversation, three of us, and then the fourth person was so quick to want to interject and say things on a reactive level, and then I was like, save it. I want you to think before you talk.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're talking before thinking. So I'm like, you were here.
Yeah.
You were talking before thinking. So what you do from now is, if you have an idea, shut up. Think about what you're going to say before you say it. That's why I was laughing, because it was like, yeah.
Yeah, but I see men and women on this like a lot, like just not having that ability to kind of contain and choose a response or not want to respond.
Is it a case of, do you think it's a case of being self-taught or seeing others do it? Example. Because no one's an island. Everybody you see, to an extent, inspires you. To do better, to do worse, to do something, to do nothing. So someone, somewhere, has influenced you in some way, shape, or form. So you go online, you go somewhere, you see how people react generally, and that's the accepted way of reaction, and you go, unconsciously by the way, you go, oh, if that's how people are accepted culturally, that's how I should be behaving. So it's a thing where today, a lot of places you turn to, people are talking and not listening. They want to be heard just talking, and they're saying things that don't even make sense. to a human being, you go, what, what, and they talk without making sense, but no one says, you sound really dumb right now. So they just keep going and going and going, and the more silly and stupid those people are, the more airtime they get. And now, the more airtime they get, the more most of us start thinking, okay, this is, or this should be, acceptable behavior. And then we now start becoming that. So that's not self-taught, that is basically society taught. But self-taught is when you go back into yourself and you go, hold on, why did I just say that? Why did I just do that? If 1, 2, 3 things happened, what would my reaction be next time? Would it be a logical reaction or an emotional reaction? See how it goes. Logical reactions are more of a, okay, reactions of necessity, which is basically the thinking before doing. You think before you talk, you think before you act. Basically, you feel the moment and you know the necessary response. There's the quote-unquote right response, but then there's the necessary response. But the emotion just goes, oh, I just got in the feeling of it and I just felt like saying this, therefore I said that. This is how I feel. Therefore I said that, I did that because I felt that way. And nobody would challenge that because those people who are meant to challenge it are also trapped in their own feelings. So they don't know how to logicize. There's no logic in what they do because you cannot teach logic if you are not a logical person. You cannot teach what you don't know.
You also can't learn logic if you're really in that emotional space in most cases, because it's two completely different parts of the brain. Like you said, you can't get here from there. To go back to what you kind of answered your own question essentially, but that is what I was going to say. When you said, is it self-taught or is it taught, from what's around us?
Yes.
In sort of nature or nurture. What I would add to what you said is we don't have examples of the other side. Do you see what I'm saying? Not only, I agree with what you say 100%, because if you look at what's going to get clicks, if you look at what's going to get views on YouTube, it's going to be the controversial stuff. So it's going to be, oh, this person's got a beef. Like, you go on YouTube now, it'll be this person's beefing this person's doing that.
Fighting in the street.
Yeah, and it's usually that irrational, emotional thing going on. You don't see many examples ever really nowadays of people who are calm, people who are stoic, people who pause and consider and think. It's usually someone talking over someone or interrupting. And so I think that's a big part of it. We don't have those examples. We don't have those examples of people who are self-contained in that way.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes absolute sense. How would you correct that?
I love this. On the spot. This is the thing about these conversations, because they're not planned. Oh man, how would I correct it? Are you talking about on an individual level?
It's generally.
Or on a wider level?
World level, you name it.
Jeez. I don't know how you would do it on a wide level. What examples could you use? I mean,
we're doing it already.
I'm being extra aware today, I'll tell you that, because there are times I get excited and I'm like, and I interrupt like I'm human. But it's examples, right? It's putting examples out there. For my thing personally is the idea of being a change you want to see in the world, to me has always made the most sense, because you can affect that change on yourself first and foremost, and then that's going to affect everyone that's around you, and then potentially everyone else you connect with. I'm not sure how you do it on a bigger scale than that. Maybe you can do it through things that you create, art, stuff like this. It's a really good question.
Yep. Your body of work creates a change. What you do in life, people see it. Whether they say it or don't say it, they see you. that self-taught and community-based taught, like people see what you're doing, even if you do it once in a while, they see it, but they don't say anything about it. When you are more consistent with what you do and how you do, that's when you start seeing the results quicker. But everyone sees you. Everyone sees what you're doing, how you're doing it. And something I say, but I don't say it often enough, is walk around like you represent the human race. Do everything you do like you are an ambassador of the human race. Think about it in this way. That's power dynamic over there. Everything you do, how you talk, how you purport, how you dress, how you stand, how you sit, represents the human race. Everything about you represents the human race. Right. So, why would I, as an ambassador of the human race, do the shuffle in public? Why would I, as an ambassador of the human race, not be an example to the younger ones? Everything you do, you set precedence. You are an example. You are the example. That's what it is. So, what happens is most of us, we have this external locus of control, which is, oh, I'm going to wait for someone else to do it before I do it first. Or I want that other person to be the example. We forget our own power. We forget that we are the examples. People look at you and take example from you, whether it's good, bad, happy, sad. You, the one person, people take examples from you. You don't even know it. And that's the problem. We don't even know it.
So it's almost like you're on camera all times.
Exactly.
So you've got an interesting perspective.
Exactly. And like I said to you on Sunday, it was a case of you cannot be an ambassador on Monday, and on Tuesday you're not an ambassador, and on Wednesday you're on holiday, on Thursday you are the ambassador 7 days a week. Every single day, that's who you are. It's crazy.
What's my first question to ask you? Logic versus emotion. Yes. What do you see as the sort of, I guess, the role and value? Because just to put it into context, I would say, let's say at one extreme you've got the completely emotional, irrational, reactive pinball in the machine, ricochet of everything. And then at the other end you would have the, I guess, sociopath, right? Who's just pure cold logic, doesn't have any empathy, no conscience, is just like a machine that just does whatever needs to be done. That's a broad range, right? So I'm curious to know from your perspective, what role do you think emotion plays? Like, what's the value of it?
It's balance. One cannot be sociopath. One should not be a sociopath. One should not be overly emotional. We should learn how to balance these things out. It's not easy, but you have to learn it. This is where, when you understand what's necessary and what's not, your balance comes in. There are things that you need to do. There are necessities, and then you realize, okay, what do I need to do now? But this is how we do it. So how I do it is basically I have my priorities. I have my list of things that I want to do, I feel like doing, I need to do. Matter of fact, I feel like doing,
I like that.
I want to do, I need to do. I feel like doing, I want to do, I need to do. Guess which one takes precedence?
It's not the feel like doing this.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not the want to do this.
It's the need to
once you've done the need to do list, do you then indulge in some of the other items on the other lists?
It's needs and wants. It's no longer I feel like. It's needs and wants. It's needs and wants.
What's the difference between want and feel like?
Ooh.
For you?
Alright, I need to drink water. I want to drink Coke. I feel like staying in bed.
Yeah.
You see my point? So I need to drink water. Regardless of what happens, I need to drink water. I want to drink Coke. I can do that next week. It's fine. I feel like staying in bed does not help me with everything else.
Yeah, it's not an option.
It's a feeling. I feel like being lazy, but I don't have the what's the word I'm going to use? I don't have the option or the gift to be lazy. It's a blessing. Like, oh, lucky you. You can stay in bed all day. Good for you, not me. Someone else, yes, me, no.
How about this though? In terms of men in today's world, and not even just young men, but just men in general, how would you advise them? Because we're living in a world now which is very feel the whole time. It's all, I don't even know why I did air quotes, but yeah, there's a whole lot of feeling.
You don't want to pay a pound because I go swear job.
That's exactly why. That was my idea, by the way. But he's gonna, yeah, okay.
What's wrong with it?
That was my suggestion.
Lemons, goddammit. I said, well, copyright that one. Trademark my lemons. Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna be huge. You need to do some content around it, man.
Pow,
oh, there's £2.
That's what you get. Pow.
Okay.
I love it.
I have an intuition that is hilarious.
I like that. I have an intuition.
You're going to make a lot of
somewhere
money.
around the filling time of liking of 10, you know. Okay. You want to reward, I feel like, please enjoy it. It's £1.
Synonyms.
You know?
But no. I know that's gonna be hilarious. I know that there's gonna be a lot of people putting money in there.
And I have a tab list like cheers. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows you. Bolale, hey, you owe me £2. I know your name.
You gotta do some content around that. That's gonna be so funny.
Where everybody knows your name.
But yeah, my question is, what about for men today? Because primarily we're speaking to men here primarily. How would you advise them to negotiate this? Because I've noticed most of the men I speak to are very much in that feeling thing, and they're very afraid of offending people, and very sort of politically correct, and you know they're not able to just speak their mind or speak freely. So there's a sense of kind of being in a very reactive energy anyway. How would you advise them to navigate
Pen,
this stuff?
paper. Don't type it up, write it down. Alright? List of things. Feel like, want to, need to. Make your list 3 lists. The things you feel like doing, the things you want to do, and the things you need to do on a 5-year plan. The things you feel like doing, the things you want to do, the things you need to do on a 1-year plan. The things you feel like doing, the things you want to do, the things you need to do this month. So, every other Tom, Dick, and Harry has a New Year resolution. Create your monthly resolution. Have your New Year, whatever, that's your problem. On a monthly basis, you want to have your mission plan. On your monthly basis, you have your I feel like doing, I want to do, and I need to do. So what do you need to do this month? How much do you need to make this month? What do you want to buy this month? So your need to helps you with your want to. You see how it goes? Your need to helps you with your want to. That has a permanence to it. Your feel like is not permanent. Because I can ask you a year from now, is that last November, how much did you make in November? What did you do with that money in November? You can still remember what you bought with that thing, but you cannot, for the life of you, remember what you felt like that month of November, on that day, on that idle Tuesday at 4 p.m. You can't remember. So what's priority now? You see how it goes? That's how we sort out our priorities. So whatever you feel like that, forget about that. Your wants and needs are priority. Your needs are priority than your wants. Your feel like is like, I don't know, midnight, 1 a.m. Feel like, good, go and do your feel like. But right now, from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., we're on our needs and wants basis. That's what we do.
I like that. I like that a lot. The interesting thing popped into my head when you were speaking is the stuff in the feel like list. It's never ending in a way because it's so fleeting. So let's say you like, oh, I feel like buying this thing or whatever it is. Once you do that, there's going to be a next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and it's next thing, and there's not going to be any real growth from those more fleeting things compared to the stuff that counts. That's what moves the needle. That's what builds you as a person. That's what's, it's harder to do, but that's the stuff that's going to grow you.
Isn't that feel like the one that you buy something and then you return it immediately? You get buyer's remorse. Because in the moment you bought that, you felt like buying this and you bought it, and now you're like, I don't like it anymore.
But it's that, what you're talking about sounds a bit like retail therapy or sort of little dopamine hit. It could apply to anything, right? It could be like, oh, let me just go and scroll through my phone, and it's like, you've just wasted some time.
We make you buy our items based on emotion. How you feel about it make you buy it. So, yeah, I felt good. It was a good product. I felt that. Okay, but did it help? Was it fashion? Was it function?
I used to buy things so much on impulse, whereas now I'll look and I'll step back and, like you say, like analyze. Is it necessary? Most times it's not. So most times I don't. It's interesting. Before I was much more.
Fair enough. But I think we're getting older. So as we get older, we logicize more. We're more logical, less emotional. It's not just how things are, because we kind of have more common sense now. But we rationalize more, because we now sit back and watch and go, why did I do that before? But when you're younger, come on, the 20-year-olds, I feel for them. I legit feel for them because they're born in an era of the internet. They've been born into it. So they don't remember a life without it. So what happens is their life is the internet. Everything they do is the internet. So it's a lot harder for anyone below 30 to disconnect. It's a lot harder. I can, you can, easily, right? But someone who was born into something and they've seen that all their life, even when they don't use it, all their classmates did, all their friends did, their parents did. To say to somebody, okay, take that all away from you, it's like going for a 40-day fast in the wilderness without anything for them, because that's their upbringing. It's so easy for us 40s to go, oh no, just take that away, because we can do that. So what we're saying is we are looking at them through our own eyes, which is quite unfair to them.
100%. I agree. That's part of the reason I asked the question, because if you've been taught a certain way and you're getting those messages, and the whole, society is giving you a certain way of thinking and functioning, it's natural that you're going to fit into that.
So how do we help them from that scenario? How do we get them out of that?
I'm trying right now with this, right? That's the challenge. Personally, I've had such a powerful experience with retention that I'm not going to start now. I'm going to build up a really long streak. I've got a target number of days I'm going to retain for. And once that's done, I'm going to.
You're gonna bust a heavy
I'm
load.
going to build.
Fire hydrants.
I'm going to. That was good because I sounded too serious at that point. I'm going to create some content and I'm going to build some stuff around this because to me this is really, really key to all the stuff we're talking about. Whether it's building self-discipline, whether it's being more logical, I think it has a knock-on effect on all different levels. So that's what I'm going to be pushing that message out there more.
Here's how I see it. I see it as don't go cold turkey, which is basically do not just overnight just quit everything. No, I like the reduction template. So if I spend 8 hours doing something, like online 8 hours, I make it 7 hours. For that 1 hour extra, I get a book. I read a book. Like that. So instead of just staying offline and being tense, read a book, do something. Do something other than just sit down there doing nothing. You can read a book, you can take a walk, you can go for a run, you can just sit in the park. It's a lot that can be done. What I've noticed also is a lot of people under the age of 30 today cannot sit still. They have this urge to and need to do something. Why? Because you have that high of swipe. You're constantly dopamine. Exactly. So dopamine feed every 5 or 6 seconds. The Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram thing is swipe. Situation. So when your brain is so used to that kind of level of dopamine effect, you can't sit still. You're like, I need to swipe something. So it will be unfair for you and I to just take that off them like that. It's unfair. And then what? Do something with them. Make them do a task, a real world task. Simple.
That's a great approach. Because ultimately you can replace a habit with another habit. So to start building these habits is a great idea.
Thank you.
In terms of connecting retention to that, even though we're planning to talk about this today, I would say every man should explore that, not watching porn. And even if it starts off like you were saying, very small, like you take, if you're doing it every day, try going a day or 2 days, and then just gradually try and build up, those streaks. The level of energy it gives you, the level of clarity, the level of just focus, your mental cognition, your physical energy, your stamina, like all these different metrics. Just
okay. Let me ask you
deep
a question.
breath.
This also pertains to logic for emotion. Why is porn bad? Why if porn is one of the most watched things on the planet, why is half of society saying porn is bad? If porn is one of the most watched things in the world today, why is half of society saying it's bad? Why do you think that is?
Because it is bad. It's unhealthy.
How is it bad?
You're getting what? On so many levels. For one, doing something which you're not actually proud of. You know, if we can use what you were speaking about, that example of being an example of humanity and all the rest of it, I don't think there's anyone that's watching porn and doing that is genuinely feeling like this is something I'm proud of. This is something I would be happy for other people to see me doing. I heard someone the other day say, imagine what your facial expression looks like. Just have an out-of-body experience and observe yourself and see how you feel about it. So on some level, I don't think we genuinely feel good about it. And a lot of men will tell you when they finished having a little session, the feeling isn't a feeling of, hey, that was great, I feel really good at what I've achieved, the way you would after doing a workout or something. So that's one aspect of it. I think that affects then how you are when you are around other people, because when you're behaving in a way that you feel good about, there's a level of confidence, there's a way you can hold someone's eye, there's a way you control, you know, you're carrying yourself with a different level of energy and confidence as a result. And I see so many people who have this sort of shaky thing, and I think that's a combination of the effects of so much dopamine exposure, because when you're watching porn, you're getting massive hits of dopamine, and that then messes up the balance of certain things within the brain, and it actually ends up with you having less dopamine because your receptors become overstimulated. So to maintain homeostasis, some of the dopamine receptors shut down, and so you end up with low dopamine levels. And low dopamine also correlates with things like feelings of shame, anxiety, and like worry. So those are a couple of reasons. It also affects how you perceive women. Like there's a way you kind of objectify women, which is not healthy when you watch porn. And because if you're watching it, you know, on an ongoing basis, you're going to be less stimulated by what you're watching. What you watch tends to become more and more extreme as well. So there's a whole number of reasons. I could keep going, probably talking about why it's not healthy.
Right. So to be an advocate, some people will say, oh, you have to watch it to, you know how a lot of people, they go on a date and then they're hyper excited, right? Some people say, oh, you go and watch it and then you have a go at yourself before you go for a date. Some say that, some also say, you understand?
Oh, like knock one out before you go on your date?
Yeah. So, okay. Rub one out before you go on a date.
Pre-game.
Pre-game. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So the ones where I was nervous, go, okay, rub one out before you go. So that's what they say. That's it. I don't know if it works. So if it works, tell me.
Try that one.
If it works, tell me. The other one again. So
you're playing devil's advocate here, yeah?
I kind of, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, but I'm like, I'm not. I'm trying to go. Oh no, it's but I can't.
You're trying to shoot both sides of this sort of thing.
Yeah, but what happens is with the dopamine effect as well. When you have sex with a person, you both exchange dopamines, right? Yeah, you do. It bounces off. You do. It bounces off. So you get the good, the high, right? Now, when you are doing it by yourself, it's artificial. So the dopamine is imbalanced. Hence why you get the flux, the fluctuation. When you're doing it with somebody, it's balanced. It's balanced. There's also the other one of how you see women differently. Differently. I would say, as an advocate, right? Everything is good in small doses, as some people say, right? Which is basically, oh, you can watch porn, but you can't watch it every day. You can watch it once every 2 days, whatever. But you do. I'm not judging anybody. Another one that some have said is, oh, if you want to learn how to blah 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 blah, go on and watch porn. Now, guess what? If you want to learn how to blah 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 blah, don't watch porn. Don't. Despite what you may or may not think, they're acting. Okay, it may look good, but They're acting. They're acting because the camera is here, camera is there. If you were privileged to go behind the set, if you were privileged to go behind the set, you would wonder how the male actor performs. Because they would be acting a scene. Because remember, when you're watching a movie, you're seeing it edited. It's been edited, it's been cut, it's been cleaned. There's literally been cleaned. There's him and her here like this, right? And the camera. So, example, the camera is facing them this way, but what you don't see is behind the camera. There's like a whole man them. Whole crew man them. There's someone on the laptop typing like this. There's one person out there taking pictures. One is doing the live feed. One person is just everyone just watching. You just like, how?
How swear? Yeah, I wonder myself.
So no, it's not the same, and they have to make sure they do this shots in this way, because why? This is what sells. Because it's all a sales pitch. They're all selling. So please, do not try and take example of how you're set like this from porn. Why? If you are watching porn and you go, okay, this is how I should do blah blah my partner, what's happening is you're watching a stereotype of how things are done, and you are not learning how your partner is done. You've noticed a lot of guys have that problem.
I've had women tell me that too.
Yeah,
guys literally have sex like they're
in porn, and it's just wrong. And it's the worst. It's the worst kind of sex, because you're doing you in your own world.
There's no connection.
There's no connection, because you are pretending to be someone else, but you're not who you are.
What would you advise guys to do then to learn how to actually have sex?
Be present. Be present. Be present. It's not about when it comes to sex. It's not actually about, oh, what do you like? What do you want to do? Because guess what? Honest to God, women don't like questions. Women don't like when men ask them questions. Don't like it. I'm giving game now. I'm giving game.
Especially in the bedroom, bro.
Especially bedroom. The women don't like it. They don't like. Oh, well. Would you like to change positions?
How would you feel about perhaps, baby?
With your permission, can I be down on you now, please?
If it pleases you.
If it pleases you, can you sign a contract that said that I didn't?
Oh man.
Women don't like questions, and the best sex is actually when he's attentive, he's paying attention, because human beings, okay, every human being has a rhythm. There's the way you breathe, there's the way you walk, there's the way you talk, there's the way you hold your pen. You have a rhythm. When you pay attention to your partner, you can sense that rhythm in the dark. You know when this works more, this works less. You know when this is good, this is not good. You just know. No need for a long essay. You just pay attention, be present. That's it. So that's why if you're watching porn, you bet your head like, okay, in porn they did like this, therefore I'll do it like that. Nah, brother, don't do that. Be present.
You know, it's fascinating too. I agree with that 100%, by the way. Like that awareness to me is what separates someone who's a good lover, because you can tell when someone's in it and they're there.
Yeah.
They're reacting and they're noticing what is working, what you like. What
And
you
they keep
respond
doing
to.
that.
They're like, oh, okay, he likes that. So you can tell when they're there, or they're just like away in their own world and experience. Like, hey, with me. Back in the room.
They tuned up Denzel. Denzel. It's David.
What are you trying to say? That was fucking hilarious. can't even remember what I was gonna say. That's so funny. Oh shit, that is so funny. Tears.
But that's true though, because it's not just
that
men.
Is not true. She's not
no, I'm not saying
okay?
it's not just men that disconnect. Women disconnect too.
Oh, women disconnect fully. Like, oh man, experiences. Just like, just like, not just about you, babe. Like,
oh my gosh.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. You made some really good points. Awareness. Oh,
she's like, say my name, Heisenberg. No!
I am the danger. What are you talking about? Oh my goodness.
I'm the one who knows.
That's the boost. Oh my goodness. The one who knows. Oh God. Oh. We need someone by the camera to pause this shit. Give me a moment. Oh man.
Oh, my chest. My feelings.
Oh, I'm so done.
I'm so done. Heisenberg, you know.
You went deep on that one.
What were you saying?
I can't remember, man. It's gone. That laughter just took me out completely.
Ooh, my head.
Oh, man. Oh, that's what I was going to say. In terms of awareness, yes, that's one of the issues I think with the corn is that you're very dissociated because you're watching this thing and you're in this sort of trance and you're not really in tune with your physical as well, compared to the opposite, which you were saying is like what works best is when you're aware, you're in the present moment, you're feeling, you're reading, you're noticing, okay, her rate of breathing is changing, right? Maybe she's breathing quicker or she's responding to that when you hit a certain spot. It's like, oh, okay. You know, it's two completely different things happening.
You know what else you're missing?
I'm missing?
Yes.
I'm missing anything.
You are. Guess what? You have a healthy body. So you are not body conscious about what you look like in the present moment. A lot of people have a heavy level of self-consciousness in that moment that they go, no, I'll do it with my clothes on. Why? Their body dysmorphia is based on they've seen porn stars. You see my point? They've seen porn stars do it and they've gone, oh, I don't look as good as that porn star. Therefore, I might be judged as that. You see my point?
Why
So
do you think
women,
I'm missing that though? Like, where would that fit into what I'm saying?
because you're fit, because you have a healthy frame, so you will not know you're not overweight. Is my point. You're not overweight. You're not Mr. Chicken and Chips 7 days a week. You know, boom, and you finally get a girl, and then you're so uncomfortable, like you can smell the chips from your skin. You see my point? So you don't know what that feels like. You see my point? So someone who is massively overweight, watches a lot of pornography, has that body dysmorphia that they can never look as good as this. Therefore, that also hinders them in the moment if they get some. Why? Because they are thinking, oh, I don't look good enough like one person.
I'm guessing you come across this to some degree because you're teaching people, you're training people.
Yeah.
You must see a lot of body dysmorphia.
A lot of people have that dysmorphia, and you will not believe it. I have the prettiest girls have that dysmorphia. The fittest guys have that dysmorphia. I'm telling you, like.
So, give me an example of the guy, for example. Would it be a thing where you look at him and you looking at him and think, oh yeah, it looks like a regular guy, but in his head he feels
Beach
small
body physique, 8% body fat.
Okay.
As in, so the beach body physique is basically big traps, big deltoids, big pectorals.
You said bitch for a second.
No, big trapezius muscles, big what do you call it? Big traps, big deltoids, big biceps, big triceps,
Okay.
big chest, small stomach, smaller waist, big strong legs,
Like everything's in proportion.
ripped, looking like a comic book superhero.
Okay.
But they still think that the chest is too small, or the arms are too small, or the six pack is only 5-pack now. So, sorry, okay, so they think that they're not good enough, and that's the thing.
They feel they're not good enough, right? Logic versus emotion. See how I'm connected now?
There you go. Why? Because they've watched this or this or this video and seen a certain person looking that way. So they all feel, oh, they don't look good enough. And now what's weird is it's actually quite unconscious. So that's the main danger of pornography, is the body dysmorphia. A girl will see porn and go, oh, my guy likes that girl because that girl is fitter than me. So she will never feel fit enough for that.
You know, it's not even just porn, because if you look at all the things they're going to be exposed to, whether it's music videos, musicians, different people on TV shows, it's going to be a lot of times it's going to be people who have a certain kind of
What people don't say is, it took me 2 months to get here. I had to not have any carbs for 3 weeks to get here.
Yeah.
I had to go on a high protein, high fat diet to do this. I had to eat once a day at 4 p.m. to do this. I had to do this. I had to drink 10 liters of water a day to do this. They won't tell you that part, because everybody sees the final product and think they work like that. It's work.
Yeah, 100%.
This is why it is best to be present, to be in the moment, to be present. Because when you're there with that person, you have a connection that transcends everything. It transcends everything. It's just me and you, the two of us. Nothing else matters. No one else matters.
That's the frame right there. There's nothing else that exists in the universe in this moment. It's just this. Yeah. And to go back to something I said in the earlier pod, a content creator called 100 Days of Summer. 100 spelled H-U-N-I-T. There's content around SEX, and he did a little survey of about 1,000 women on videos when he asked what was the number one key to great sex, and the top number one answer was connection.
Be present. That's it.
Present.
Well, that is it.
Yeah, that feels like the end.
Hey, £3.
Damn! That's
free! That's what you get!
How long was this podcast?
Long enough, mate.
Long enough
I
for
made £3. I'm rich! Ah! For a second. Ah!
I was doing so well for that last stretch as well.
Ah!
This is good.
Anything else you want to add in?
Perfect end. No, I think I'm going to stop talking now. I think I've said enough.
Gods of Olympus. Alright. I've been Careful Kest. This has been Dr. Love. And this topic has been about logic versus emotion. Peace.